A huge win on the road at Millwall for Hull City as we registered our third clean sheet of the season in an emphatic 1-0 win as we propel ourselves outside of the relegation zone for the time being. Yes, hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be going through the win that Hull City have grabbed this Saturday. A 12:30 kickoff and the Tigers win. It is a lovely Saturday. In this video I'll be going through all of the players, giving a little bit of a player rating to each player, going through the game, giving my honest reaction to the 1-0 win down at the Den, and then also a little bit of extra information coming off the back of this game and what we could maybe look forward to as the Tigers have started their 3-game week with a big win today at Millwall. A 1-0 win, that being, of course, the goal for the Tigers came in a bit of a lucky format. Regan Slater still can't manage to get a goal, as he was the person who steered it mostly towards the goal. It then took deflections off 2 different Millwall players before ending up in the back of the net and fooling the Millwall keeper. So still not a Regan Slater goal. He's still struggling very hard to grab that goal after having a few misses in chaotic fashion over the festive period. And today having his efforts taking a double deflection and going in the back of the net off the back of that. I don't think Regan Slater's was a strike. It was more of him playing it in towards the 6-yard box to try and get a diversion in off a Hull City player. But it came off a Millwall player. It's in the back of the net. They all count the same, don't they? And in this one, it counts in a big way as Hull City pull off a 1-0 win. And I say it's the 3rd clean sheet for Hull City this season. The first one coming against Millwall at the MKM Stadium earlier on in the season. A 0-0 draw that was. Next up came in that 1-0 win over Blackburn in the festive period. And then today, a 1-0 win on the road at the Den. Fantastic, really, isn't it? Credit to every player out there, especially in them final 20 minutes or so, where we basically just, once the goal went in, we sat back for a considerable amount of time and put on a brilliant defensive show to hold out, to grab Hull City's 3rd clean sheet of the season, which was desperately needed. Carl Rushworth in goal was protecting him. It was absolutely fantastic to see the resilience from the squad, and that really carry on from the Leeds game last time out. I thought that the substitutions were brilliantly done by by Ruben Sayers. Rosinia's gone. Rosinia's long gone. By Ruben Sayers. Please forgive me. I thought those substitutions were done well by Ruben Sayers. I thought that bringing on the experienced players towards the end of the game, where maybe, yes, Hull City could have slipped and faltered, where we have seen that time and time again, where we are holding on, and then that defensive error leads to 1-2 goals. We've seen it time and time again this season, and to be frank with you, I'm fed up of it, but no more. As people were saying, why have we got a 37, nearly 38-year-old man coming in to Hull City, where we need players that can influence the game in big ways? Well, Amrabat did that just perfectly in them closing 10 or so minutes when he came on the field. I'll talk about it a little bit more when I go through the player-by-player, but Amrabat was a key player in that final bit, keeping the clean sheet for the Tigers. He's pulling out tactical fouls, tactically getting taken down. His experience was valuable in those closing moments, and really, in his first chance to shine, he does so for City. I thought Joe Gildart did well coming off the bench. Of course, I'll talk through all of them. We'll do it now, shall we? We'll do it now. So, bit of a weird starting lineup for City, as we didn't really have a recognised left-back starting on the field for us. Carl Rushworth, I say, started in net. We'll go through our player ratings while we go through the squad. So, Carl Rushworth, I thought it was an okay. He didn't really have too much to do. There wasn't that many shots at him in the course of the game from Millwall. Of course, we spoke about in the build-up to this game, Millwall struggling to get goals. They're the lowest scoring side in the Championship, and that's saying something when they've scored less goals than us. So it's really wasn't too much of a worry for Carl Rushworth in this game. Although I thought his distribution was well. There was maybe 1 or 2 moments where he was making a bit of dodgy passes, but they weren't that awful that they didn't then go on to cost us. There was one where I believe there was a City player and Millwall player going for a 50-50 challenge, but that's really all I can remember from bad playing out from the back, pad passing from Carl Rushworth. And that's what we brought Carl Rushworth in to do, was for his feet. He's known as a foot-first keeper. But, of course, he can pull off saves. And, I mean, we've seen him save a penalty. So, yeah, brilliantly done by Carl Rushworth. 6.5 match rating, just because he didn't have too much to do, because obviously Millwall weren't giving him much. We'll go over to the left back situation, which took a bit of a twist in this game. So no Ryan Giles at all in this squad, which leads to further speculation about his move to Millwall, not Middlesbrough, the other M club. Sean McLaughlin, well, he started the game at left back, and I thought he did a fantastic job. I thought that he was absolutely brilliant at left back, putting in fantastic tackles, commanding a bit more down that left hand side. Yeah, maybe he didn't get as forward as he probably should have done down that left hand side, which I think really cost us, especially in that first half, where a lot of the attacking players may be coming through the Kamara, that right hand side. That maybe cost us. But I thought McLaughlin, as a defensive player at left back, I thought that was fantastic from him. So Sean McLaughlin, a 6.7 match rating. I thought probably his best performance of the season so far. Alfie Jones, commanding at the back. Your classic Alfie Jones performance this was, so I will give Alfie Jones a nice, solid 6.3 out of 10. Finley Burns started this game, so it seems like he is in the plans for Ruben Sayers in the second half of the season. Started at centre-back, which isn't maybe his predominant position, but he did all right. He managed to especially get forwards in moments, playing that nice counter to Alfie Jones. So I'll give Finley Burns a 6.1 match rating. Louis Coyle started the game at right back. I mean, he played 20 minutes before being subbed off due to a bit of an injury. We hope it's more of a precautionary matter than anything severe. So I will give Louis Coyle a 5 match rating in the middle, just because he didn't get too much game time under him. But I will, of course, keep you updated on everything around the injury possibility around Louis Carroll. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. But, I mean, that's a man that will probably play with no legs if he could. He'll play through anything, really. Of course, we'll go through the substitutes in a bit, but Cody Drama did come on for him. We'll go through their ratings in a little bit. Gustavo Puerta, a little bit of an unfortunate game, I felt, for Gustavo Puerta. You saw in the moments when he did get the ball, there was flurries of brilliant dribbling past players, playing nice passes, being in the right spaces. Just unfortunately didn't get the ball pretty much at all in that first half and the second half, very sporadically before he was subbed off. So I would have liked to see Gustavo Puerta having a bit more of a chance on the ball, but it seems just everything was bypassing maybe a little bit too much, whether that was because a lot of the play was playing down that right-hand side because McLaughlin wasn't advancing too high or what. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it would have been nice to see Puerta maybe getting a little bit more of the action in this game. But not too bad a performance from Gustavo Puerta. I will give him a 5.5 match rating. Ooh, choking on my words there. Steven Alzate. Now, Steven Alzate, fantastic performance from him again. I think that he's been absolutely stellar under Ruben Sayers. And this is no exception from him. Brilliant performance, both heading forwards, his dribbling play, his attacking play overall was quite nice in this one, but also his defensive contributions, especially as I mentioned, in them closing 20 minutes, were a big contribution factor for the 1-0 victory, the third clean sheet of the season. The 6th, 7th win for the Tigers this season. Brilliant contribution overall from Steven Alzate. And for that, he gets my Man of the Match award. Steven Alzate, he does get my Man of the Match award for a 8 match rating. Regan Slater, as I said, did get somewhat of a credit for the goal. He took the celebrations for himself, of course, but it was clearly an own goal. It took 2 deflections and wasn't heading goal bound from Regan Slater's efforts at all. But other than that obvious matter, I thought Regan Slater didn't have too bad of a game. Maybe could have got a little bit more involved heading forwards and stuff like that. Maybe having a bit more of a contribution in a similar fashion to Steven Alzate, but not too bad from Regan Slater. We have seen worse. We have seen better. Middle of the park Regan Slater performance, so I will give it a 5.7 match rating. So the two wingmen, Abu Kamara. I thought Abu Kamara had a quite nice first half. He was contributing quite highly. He maybe even had a chance to score in that first half where maybe if he just scooped it over the keeper in a bit of a one-on-one-ish situation. It was a little bit of a tight one to tell for him. So I'm not going to blame him too much for not scoring on that effort. It was a bit more of a situation where the keeper did a brilliant job to stop it rather than Kamara did a bad job not to score. So I will give Kamara a solid 6.2 match rating. I thought he had a very, very good first half. A lot of the action was coming through him. Just unfortunate not to keep it going in the second half, but it really, really changed the game changed once that own goal went in. Mason Burstow, still not a good performance from Mason Burstow. It wasn't bad, but wasn't as good as what we have seen in moments from Mason Burstow this season. Maybe it wasn't the right decision to maybe start him this game. Maybe have him coming off the bench, maybe on in the midweek fixture. I think it's Tuesday night we play. Maybe having him coming off the bench, maybe the best situation for him. Just don't think he had it going right from minute one in this game. Of course, whether that just be because Sean McLaughlin wasn't playing as high as Ryan Giles would down that left-hand side, whether that just negated a lot of the action coming through him. But I just didn't think it was an overly strong performance in the likes of a Mason Burstow. So we'll give it a 4.8 match rating. I thought João Pedro did very, very well in this game, as he always does. He's a free transfer. He's, 30 something like that years old, and I thought that he did absolutely fantastic. He was lunging at every ball coming into the box. He was coming back, making defensive action, and he was even playing out on the wide as well to come and help some of the balls be delivered in towards the box. So for João Pedro, I will give it a nice solid 6.3 match rating. As I say, Cody Drama came on for Louis Carroll in that first half, so we did see quite a lot of Cody Drama. I thought it was a good Cody Drama performance coming off the bench, so I will give it a nice solid 6.0 match rating. I don't know why I just didn't say a 6 match rating. Matt Crooks came on, so all three January signings, or brand new January signings came on. Matt Crooks came on. He didn't get too much of the action in comparison to the other two January signings that came on. So I will give Matt Crooks a solid 4.7 match rating, just because he didn't get too much of the ball. Joe Gailtart, he got a yellow card for a very, very smart tactical foul. Of course, coming on into more of the dead areas of the game, so didn't get too much of a chance to prove what he's got going forwards, but I thought tracking back and having his energy on that field really helped City in them closing stages. So for Joe Gailtart, I will give him a solid 5.2 match rating. Norden Amrabat, I thought Norden Amrabat was probably the best out of the three January signings, just for the fact of what I've mentioned, his experience that he brought onto the field, the resilience, everything that he brought in them closing 10 or so minutes when he came on to really help hold out this 1-0 victory, the clean sheets, the victory. Two key factors from this game, and Norden Amrabat was a key player in them closing stages. So I will give Norden Amrabat a 5.7 match rating. So that was all of the players who played. Of course, Panda, Vaughan, Simmons, Andy Smith and Matty Jacob were unused subs. Still no Rashopi and Bedia, presuming they've pretty much straight away gone, as it has been speculated. No Ryan Giles, we presume that he is on his way out, and then a few other players that we are without. Of course, we have got quite a big squad at the moment. All things saying, I think about 38 players have played for us this season. So quite a few players, but obviously we'll need to go for new players to get chances and stuff. But I'll keep you updated on here around all of the going on around the transfer window for Hull City. Of course, we're only just over halfway through January, so there will be plenty more action coming through Hull City in this transfer window. And it's a busy week for Hull City, so why would you not stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing? Go and check me out over on Twitter or X to get a breaking minute by minute on Hull City, and also a little bit active over on the TikTok page. If you want to go and check me out over there, do so to go and see more Hull City content, because why would you not want more Hull City content in your life? And I will see you in the next video. Up the Tigers!